background? Do you like this? Is that okay? Okay.
So my two entrepreneurs, I have Jill on the top. She will be speaking for me. And Maria's on the bottom. She will be speaking for you. And this is
Love it.
Weston, one of my closest good friends that I met way
I
back
love
in
you.
West Palm Beach. Romadrama.
I love Romadrama. Right. I know we did another one. I miss everybody. This is sad. All right, let me get so I can see everybody else. Let me see if I can figure this out. Ah, there we go. Now I see all of y'all.
All
All right.
Well,
Okay,
thank you for coming, finding the time and your schedule and everything, coming on my Cat Chat podcast. I'm very happy to be here tonight with you and talk about many things, especially Christmas.
Christmas in my house. Let's be true though. It's been Christmas in my house since October 20, let's just say 3rd, because that's safe. Maybe 4th. I mean, listen.
Christmas starts in my house November 25th because my husband decided to be born on Thanksgiving.
That makes sense.
So I get a little bit of a crack with him every year, but he's over.
I understand.
Yeah, give me the class you want. I don't care.
That makes sense. My sister had a birthday on December 8th. And so it was the same in her household. You couldn't do anything until December 9th. So I'm just glad I was born in August because I can let it rip. Like my future boyfriend, he needs to be born between January and like early October so that we're good. Otherwise, no boyfriend.
Okay. So hopefully the man out there will listen to that specific requirement. Otherwise, sorry, that's a deal breaker. I start looking. I mean, nope.
Check them off. Cross them off the list. When's your birthday? First rule. Unless you're okay with an early Christmas and we can just slide over your birthday, then we have a deal. If not, no deal, no boyfriend.
Definitely.
I have my priorities straight, which is good for all of us.
All right. Speaking of Christmas and tradition, I have a surprise for you, and I have fun doing that. And it's really, really good. So you better tell me if this is familiar.
What is this? Oh, my candy cane cookies, Nana's candy
Your
cane.
Nana cookies are so good. I could taste the almond attract. So good. So,
You have made my day and my night. I love those are my favorite things to make. They're not easy, as Jen can tell you. They're not easy, but they are so yummy. And I always, and I should have added this, but I always say experiment, like put a little bit more almond, put a little bit more sugar. I kind of sprinkle sugar on top. Never can have too much sugar. So it really, but aren't they yummy?
So good. I have to find out how did she do this? How did she twist them? Okay, I'm making thick. That's good enough. The rest of it I will make into the sugar cookies or whatever. So good. Hey, Jan, that's what I'm going to do. Variety. So awesome. So good. So good.
Hey, you made my day. I cannot wait to make them. I usually wait till after Thanksgiving for the Christmas cookies, but I literally might not be able to now because of what I just saw. Because now I'm hungry. My mouth is literally salivating.
Sorry, but I made a couple of them, so I eat them for you. So no worries.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you. First off, I want to kick off the Cat Chat podcast to talk about what is very important to do before we get into the writing, movie, music. Wanted to talk about a recent experience a few years ago for 3 days for the student Komen Breast Cancer walk. One, I lost 2 people with breast cancer who are my friends, and my aunt beat breast cancer, so she's in a full remission and hopefully cancer not back. So I know it's a thought substance and emotional, so I just want you to be able to share the experience of why it's important to do. And people need to be out there aware to raise more awareness, find ways to cure for breast cancer, along with many other cancers out there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's important to me because it was one of 3 promises I made to my sister before she lost her battle. She knew she was losing her battle, especially like the last 5 days. She was very aware of her surroundings for the most part. And that was one of the promises. I would do this walk that, you make a promise to your sister and you're like, it's, but let me tell you, 60 miles, no matter what the weather is, cold, hot, raining, downpour, it doesn't matter. You walk. The only thing they'll stop you from walking in is lightning. And even if it's not necessarily on top of us, you're still walking. So this year I raised just over 34,000. In the last 10 years since she's been gone, I have raised 200, I think, and 87,000 on my own, which is pretty exciting.
Amazing.
Thank you. Somewhere I have to believe there's a cure. I pray every day. I have an aunt that is still in remission. My grandmother has passed. My sister has obviously passed. My cousin was in remission and was re-diagnosed with breast cancer this summer in August. I have at this very moment, three friends, one of whom is a 14-year breast cancer survivor who is now once again battling, even after double mastectomy, even after everything, chemo, radiation. She did it all right. And it's a recurrence, even with a double mastectomy, which I didn't even know was humanly possible. And I tell, especially women, but now men too are getting it more. But I want to tell all of my girlfriends, like, this is something that we have to be so vigilant about, even if it's not in my family. Unfortunately, has it through the maternal side all the way down. Now it's hit 3 generations. But my friends are like, well, I don't have it in my family. I'm like, but it doesn't matter. Like, you can have nobody out of nowhere in your family and you could have an issue. So I do this walk to raise the awareness, and I raise as much money as I can because I wholeheartedly believe, and this makes me always cry, that I feel like someday my nieces won't have to worry about this one thing in the world. And there's a lot that young kids and young adults have to worry about right now. And even adults of all ages have to worry about. But I look at younger children and I think someday they will not have to think about, I've got to schedule a mammogram, because there'll be a pill we can take, or there will be something that will give us the upper hand on this. To me, when I was telling my mom, and I had this conversation just last night, and I said, I counted up just like boom, 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 like 5 people. Right now, 5 women are battling. That's ridiculous. That should not be that easy or that possible. So I will keep walking and I'll keep raising awareness. And I thank you and everybody who's donated. I say, I don't care if it's $1 and I don't care if it's 10,000. It all matters. If it's the last dollar that we need to find a cure, then the dollar. So it doesn't, I just know that there's a cure. So I appreciate you saying that. I am, you're right. All cancers, like, there's got to be a cure out there. My uncle is a 3-time cancer survivor, and one of which was very rare, and is I think it's one of 40 something people in the world that are living with his cancer, and he is still here to talk about it. So I know that there are huge strides every day. So I just keep walking and keep raising money every year because I'm promised. So this one was probably the toughest year. There was weather that was just not polite. It was not okay. But you know what? I have one teammate, my friend Lindell, and there's a few times she looked at me and said, girlfriend, like, no, mama, don't walk in the rain. But she did. We both did. We pushed ourselves. We had our feet duct taped up and our our ponchos duct taped.
Yeah,
And
that I was like, oh man, why are you gonna keep going? Nothing is going to stop her.
nothing stopped me. This was not a fun year to do it, but we did it and we raised a lot of money and awareness. And so I keep doing that every year. I take a little break and then January I start building the fundraising again, and I do a big Super Bowl pool, and that's my first, money to, like, people can win money every quarter, and then I start raising money again. Spring is slow and then I start pushing it through the summer. So it's it's a promise. So I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Thank you. And everybody get checked. Anybody that's watching, if you haven't scheduled your mammogram, schedule.
I made an appointment. I have it in a couple of weeks. The doctor was like, I don't know, but like, you have breast cancer in the family, right? Yeah.
It's
So I
hard.
made an appointment in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna go. And yeah, I agree with you. I mean, breast cancer could
Yes,
be either severe or women could beat it. I mean, one of my closest friends, we were close friends, and then eventually drifted apart, and we were more like mutual friends. She had
right.
cancer, she beat it, and she was the remission, chemo, all of that. And then I can't remember how bad. Whatever, I can't. I wanted to say maybe 6 months or 8 months. I can't remember. Maybe more than that. It was so long ago. It came
Yeah.
back, and it
It
progressed
was,
so fast. And then I
yeah.
see all these Facebook posts, and she passed away. And I was like, wait, what? So I
Happened.
texted my friend who was very, very close with her. I was like, I thought she beat it. She goes, it came back and it took her. I was like, I am so sorry. And I just started
Right.
sobbing, even though we were mutual, but she was still part of my life for that
Right.
part of my life
Hmm.
for that time period. So every time the anniversary comes up, I see her post. I'm just like, so yeah, praying every day, and I appreciate you doing the comment every day. Just like me, I do any different kind of 3K, 5K, half marathon for children's hospital, for
Love that.
traumatic brain injury, and for autism. You name it, I try to be involved as much as I can because I need to get out there. I need to be able to run and make a
Yeah.
difference, because I'm my
Dude,
son who is a TBI survivor. So that's all that is.
I love it. And I appreciate you doing stuff too. I mean, you probably saw this last week, 2 weeks ago. We did this week and a half ago, a lot for Alzheimer's with Ashley Williams and Nikki DeLoach. And they raised over 300,000, and they have personal connections to it. And I love what they did and I love what they're doing. And I can absolutely appreciate it just because I know what I've done. And it's when you can go together and kind of do something for a great cause and you see the results. Especially when you've lost somebody close to you and you can go somewhere, they're cheering me on. Somewhere you made a promise and you're doing something good about a really awful situation that you can turn around, whether it's a 5K, 10K, whether it's a 3-day walk or a dance party. It makes a difference. All those little things, I think, add up somewhere to something. They have to.
Yeah. Same, I started post with Alzheimer's. I lost my grandmother to dementia and Alzheimer's. So I started,
Mm,
I was like giving them a little bit of my story, and that whole weekend was just spectacular. And I loved watching everybody posting live
oh,
video. And Andrew Walker, Black that man, surprised us in Ashley's watch party. So we were able to watch a little bit of Ashley's happy birthday moment. So that was
oh,
really special. So I'm
it
glad everybody
was.
really had fun that weekend and donating, fundraising just for Alzheimer's and other diseases out of the world that are finding a cure.
Yep. I believe there's a cure for everything. I think if we don't believe that, I feel like all of us, if the world agrees there's a cure, somewhere that has to change the trajectory of that cure, right? If all of us come together with that positive energy, it has to make a difference. I believe that with everything, not just with sicknesses, but I think just in world peace. I think of that in just love, no matter what you believe to be the definition of that. I just think we all need to kind of come together on the same level with the same kind of positivity and kind of goodwill towards all. I know that kind of sounds cheesy around Christmas time, but it's really true. If it can't hurt. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, definitely. All right, moving on to movie writing. How did you get into movie writing? Like, how did the idea come to you? Where did you find your inspiration for movie writing? Is it not for book writing, or I'm gonna make a movie and you should go for it with writing, like The Morning Christmas, Always and Forever, Nanny Express? My all-time favorite. I will watch them over and over and over, especially Always and Forever.
I love that movie.
Dean, Mr. Man, and When That Sofa.
Yes.
And the Weston movie, Harvard Homecoming with Trevor Donovan and Jessica London. I want to know about that.
So it's really kind of funny, and it's a little bit, it sounds narcissistic, and please don't take it that way, because I'm absolutely not that girl, as you know, the one that's wearing the Christmas sweatshirt, pajamas, and pretty much also underwear that's, black and red checkered Christmas underwear, which is another segment of this, which is the PG-13 segment. So my movie writing only started because as an actress, I really hated the movies. I hated the scripts. And in my head, I kept thinking, I'm probably going to suck. I have no idea how to write a movie, but I might suck a little bit less than the man of a certain age who has no idea how to write for a girl that I was playing. And I thought, so at some point, I just got to the place where I was like, I'll just try it and try to suck a little bit less than he is doing. Whatever he's doing, I'll try to be a little bit better. And maybe somebody, if no one likes it, my mother will like it and she'll be proud. And that's literally the entire diving board into writing, was only because I hated what I was being given and thought at some point, growing up in a small town, if I could get on a show that was a sitcom, I'd make X amount of dollars. And in my head, it would be like, if I could do that, then I've made it. Like, that would be the only thing I would ever ask for, God, is if I could do this silly little show. And then you get to that point where you actually have a chance of getting the silly little show for the X amount of dollars. And that's when I started questioning it. Like, well, if I get this, would I want to do this for 5 years or 7 years? What if it's a really great show and everybody watches it and I'm stuck? And I'm stuck rolling my eyes, saying whatever, and slamming the door. For what? Why am I saying whatever? And that literally is how it started. And I said, well, let me ask, why am I saying whatever? And they'd be like, I don't know. She's 16. She's mad, or whatever it was. And I'm like, well, understood. But an 87-year-old man who just lost his wife of 63 years is also saying whatever. And he's mad and he's upset and he's sad. He's so sad. And he's going to say whatever just the same as I am, but it's coming from a whole different energy than an 18-year-old who's mad that she can't have car keys. Right. So I literally was like, if nobody has an answer and that's their job, is to have an answer, I might as well write something and see what happens. And maybe I can create my own answers. That's the only reason I started. And so then it got decent reviews. And then I remember I wrote like a couple family comedies, and I thought, well, what would I want to be in as an actor? That's how it started. And I wrote a pilot that I would have been in. And I remember somebody saying like, well, what's the Bible? Can you write some ideas out? And I'm like, sure. No idea what that meant. Apparently it means like blocking out the next few episodes of the show. since I had no idea how to do that, I just wrote every episode. I wrote like 5 episodes. So I just kept like writing. I didn't even know there were script writing programs, and I just started doing that. The Hallmark stuff was great because that came through an independent producer who originally had, I think that one of the producers at this company, his wife had read my book, and the book is called Before I Go, and it was based on a script that I had written, and nobody wanted to make it because I wanted to stop. I love Jack and Madison. I love them so much. I still want to see that story made. I still want to see it come to life. As a matter of fact, I haven't skated now. It's been a year and a half. Haven't trained, and I'm going back next week for the first time in a year and a half. So it should be interesting, even trying to lace up my skates and put them on my feet. And I I wrote the book to try to control the screenplay rights so that I could be in it. I've written the theme song. I've recorded the theme song. I mean, I've done pretty much all you can do. This man, his wife read the book and started crying in the middle of the night when she finished it. And she's like, "Oh my God, Jack and Madison." He's like, "Who is Jack and who is Madison? Like, we don't know these people."
Texting you over Instagram when I was
That's the
reading
response.
the book.
Yeah, because you feel like you know them, and then when they go, you're like, "What just happened?" Right? So, um, he said, "Can you come in and talk to us about a thriller or about a movie idea?" And I was like, "Oh, finally, my movie's getting made," and I'm thinking this is what's happening. And I walked in, and he said, "So we want you to write us a movie called Dark Beauty, but it's going to be like Black Widow." And I went, "This is a joke, right? Like somebody put you up to this? Like you're kidding, right? Because that movie's been made like 47 times on your network. Like that's dumb." And then no, he wasn't kidding. So I looked really, really. I was a little bit embarrassed, a little bit. And then I was like, "Oh, so you're serious? Okay, well, I'll try." And so I have 2 movies on Lifetime that are like the bad girl movies, and that's how. Then they said, "Can you write for Hallmark?" I'm like, "Well, that's really what I would prefer doing, not the thrillers." And so I went. They took a project in, and we were waiting, and then they came back and said, "Can she rewrite something that we have sitting on hold?" And we want her to write this movie and called the Nanny Express, and that was my first one with them. And then Always and Forever, and then Good Morning Christmas. There was one in there that didn't get made. You never know, maybe it will now. And I mean, I want the fairy tale, I want to see, I want the rom-com. I want to laugh so hard I'm crying, and I want to cry so hard I'm laughing, depending what moment of the movie I'm in. I want to have all the feels. Especially when I love Good Morning Christmas. Somebody posted on a Facebook, Hallmark page, and they were like, "I could watch the ending over and over again." And somebody tagged me in it and said, "I thought you'd want to see this kind of thing." And I was like, "Y'all, this has made me so happy." And also, why I don't have a boyfriend is the ending of that movie. Because if your birthday is not between, as we discussed, January and October, and you don't want to show up at my doorstep with horse-drawn carriages with little white twinkle lights, probably not my guy. And there's that. So I just love writing all those, and we'll see what happens next year. I know Hallmark is doing some restructuring now, so we'll see what happens with some movies that are there now and what they might turn into. But GFAM, as you know, is getting exciting now, and Trevor and I have been talking about working together on a couple projects, and we thought it was going to be a Christmas one or a summer one, and then timing wise, it just they needed a fall one, and I was like, I don't have one. So I went away for a few days and came up with Harvest Homecoming, and this by far, that experience was the hands down the craziest, fastest, most insane time I'd ever had for a movie. It was like turned in a couple pages. It was greenlit the next night. The next day I had a production meeting. The next day I was writing. It's never happened like that. I hope it happens again someday. But if it never happens again, I'll never forget it. It was wild. And then we had the strike. So we were trying to deal with that and get done with the movie before the SAG strike happened. So it came out. I'm happy with it. I'm really excited for that to be my first movie. And I had a song in it. That was fun. And Trevor had a song in it. That was fun. And we just had a super great time working together. Even if it was by far, hopefully the next one I get to be in with him and we'll still have some more fun. So hopefully there's more on the radar.
Yeah, that was a very good movie. I know you told me that I wrote it in a few days and they liked it. I'm like, and it's crazy
It
how
was,
fast the strike has happened with the
yeah.
writers and the actors. So congratulations for all the writers, directors, producers, actors, and actresses finally going back to work. Dive
Oh,
in, make some more writing, screenplays, movies for our Hallmark band all over the world. So I'm very excited about that, and
me
congratulations
too.
to everybody.
Me too. I really, we had all been warned if it didn't happen when it did, like within those few days that we were looking at January. And I think the majority of us had pretty much kind of come to that and said like, okay. I mean, I had kind of gotten to the place from like, if it doesn't happen till January, I'll focus on the writing, take a deep breath, and just know that it's going to come back around again. It has to be, figured out at some point. But this was a scary year for all of us. I mean, it was pretty intense. I mean, and with the strikes come changes on all the networks. They had to make adjustments during this year to get through this year and even think about next year, that now everything that you would have seen January, February, March, and April would have been made already, right? September, October, November. So that's going to change in the beginning of 2024, what might happen. So we're all kind of up in the air right now, still figuring out how is it going to play out in the long run. I don't know.
Yeah, but like I
It,
noticed some movies that are airing right now for Countdown to Christmas. Oh, this movie was made pre-strike. Oh, well, I don't want to say during the strike, but they had to hold it until the strike was over and then air. That movie kind of old. It was
mm-hmm.
before the strike. Couldn't do anything with it. So I know I could feel for all the writers and actors and actors who are not like tightly can't promote. But they're seeing
Well,
everybody promote their movies, they're sharing the
right.
movies, the stories, can't promote, can't promote. So they will message me to thank you for sharing. I wish I could promote, but I can't. I'm like, not a problem. We're helping you to get it out there, to watch the movies and to support you guys. And now when the strike is over, everybody's sharing, everybody's doing, going crazy with it over on social media.
Yeah, I tried to share a lot of friends in movies that I knew were coming out, and I would try to post it for them because we tried to do that for each other, which was great. And the Dono fans and the Dishing with the Donos, they were certifiably insane in the best way imaginable. They just didn't stop every day. They put the word out there, which was amazing. And what we didn't find out till later is that we had a SAG interim agreement so that we could have publicized even more. But Trevor and I were both nervous because it seemed like it changed daily. You can talk about something that's current, or maybe then the next day it was like, no, you can't if it's in the past, or if it's like it was. We got different information all the time, so it was really tough to figure, and we didn't want to get in trouble. So it was really a kind of a cruddy time. But thankfully our movie did, thanks to all the fans, it did really great in ratings. So I know that GFam was happy. We were thrilled, and it's been the most downloaded movie and watched movie on PureFlix, which is still airing there, which is awesome. And so hopefully there'll be more. Hopefully there'll be more across the board with everybody. I mean, I've talked to a few networks now. I don't have an exclusivity contract, so that's the good and the bad. I can kind of, you all right, buddy? I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to show you what I'm
with him. I going into Hallmark. I have a few questions, and then I'm going to turn you over to you to interview me if you have any questions. Open book, whatever. So, in the Hallmark world, do you have any Hallmark pairings that you really love?
Oh, that's a good one. There are so many, and I don't know if I have pairings, but because I have a couple of friends now that I'm closer to, like I want to. There's a few that I would love to work with. Like I'd love to work with Erin Cahill. Love Erin. Erin and I become some good friends, and she is just beautiful inside and out. I would love to work with her. I'd love to work with Cindy Busby and Sarah Drew and Brooke Dorsey. Um, Pavey and I are good friends. I'd love to work with Ryan and Andrew Walker. And I mean, Paul Green is now doing a little bit more on the GFAM side, but I'd love to work. We've talked about doing some movies. I want to work with Trevor again. It's I'd love to work with Dana. Actually, I'm seeing Danica for lunch tomorrow, and we're gonna talk movies. And there are some really great people that actually showed up to my show a couple weeks ago during that great weekend. And now that I'm friends with them, it's like I'm thinking of like, God, we all want to like start doing stuff together. So I've got a couple of one in particular. I have a mystery pitch because they're focusing. Hallmark's kind of upping their mysteries now, which is super exciting. I don't know if anybody likes the mystery series, and I have one that I'm super excited about. And when I was writing it this weekend, and I was kind of thinking, like, God, who would be great? And of course, I was like, Nikki and Andrew. I'm like, they already got a mystery series. They can't do another one. So in my head, I'm like, ooh, who would be good for this one? Like, this is kind of fun. Start thinking, of who would work. I thought of Benjamin Ayers. Like, I'm like, okay, I love, as we talked about romance university stuff. I'm like, God, he'd be so great in this role. Like, this is kind of fun, and this would be a really fun role for him. And who else would he be good with? And there's just so many, and the more kind of people I get to be exposed to, which is awesome, the more you want to work together. So it's kind of now just it's gonna come down to, and this year coming up in 2024, I want to get back in front of the camera, which is how it kind of started. And I feel like I've gotten to the place now where I've worked in the beginning of my career as an actress, and then it kind of took a different turn that I didn't know was going to happen with the writing, and never could have seen that coming. That was all God. It's all God anyway. But this one was like, I had no aspirations to write. It was only because I was sick of those scripts. And then to kind of focus on music when I'm in Nashville, which is great. And have a song in the last movie, which is one of the things I've been trying to do. My goal has been to take movies or ideas that I am a part of the development of and or the writing of, and be in them, whether it's the quirky friend or the supporting lead or comic relief or whatever that is, not necessarily the lead, and then somehow kind of weave in the music that either somebody else can sing or that I have written to sing in my character, so that I can take all the things I love that are my I think my top talents, or what I could bring to the drawing board, kind of, so to speak, and do the things I love in that way, and kind of put them all together. You ask me to cook a turkey, I'm going to fail miserably. It's not going to happen. You're going to eat crappy food. But I can reheat. I'm a good reheater, and I'm a great baker. If it's got sugar, I'm your girl. Anything else, do not ask. Unless it's egg whites. That's pretty much it. So I kind of feel like that's been my goal, is to kind of try to mold them all together, and or be in somebody else's movie that I have nothing to do with as a writer, and keep working on music in Nashville. And I had my first song called actually twice last year. So I feel like everything's kind of like taking little baby steps up, and I'm hoping this next year I can like put them all together and kind of hoisted up a few steps. I really hope that for this year, but with both the strikes, it kind of it's tough. And as you know, a lot of the Hallmark stuff and other networks, GFAM and Up, and a lot of other ones that are doing rom-coms, whether it's Netflix or streamers, most of them shoot in Canada. And if you are not a Canadian citizen, not even if you have a visa, that doesn't work. You have to be a Canadian citizen to work as an actress. So anything I'd want to be in, even in a smaller role, can't happen, because there's one American, and that's the lead. So that's frustrating to kind of work around. So it's hopefully this year I'll find some different outlets for the acting and music. And
definitely will be fun to see you in some movie for a small world.
Yeah.
Darty, funny, kind of back fun, or cutting, or titter,
Yeah.
or fun. I mean, it would be good with Jacqueline, Brittany Victor,
Yes.
Cindy
Yes.
Betsy.
All of that. All
Yeah.
of that. We're trying. We're trying. And it's funny. There was I was hoping to see if it was going to air on Lifetime this year. I'll have to check again. I have one Christmas movie that I was in that I get to sing a little bit in, which is fun, with Keisha Knight Pulliam and a guy named Pooch Hall. And it's a great cast. It was super fun. So I'm trying to get those DVDs so I can like release them on my own. So anybody that wants to see them could buy them. But it's a super cute little movie, and it's, and I play this girl in a halfway house, and she's got piercings, and she's smarmy and snotty and funny and all the fun things. And it was so much fun to make. And that's kind of like one of the last things I did as an actress. And I'm like, I also had a hand in rewriting the whole script. So it was the first time I got to be on a set, having written the movie, and then also be in a trailer as an actress and be like, okay, wait, this, you need help rewriting this scene, so say this, do that, and change this. And then, okay, now it's my acting hat, now I can go be an actress. And that was probably the most fun I've ever had. So I'm hoping I have a lot more of those experiences this year coming up.
Next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Favorite movie, or favorite book, or favorite song that you could play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, many as you can. You can never get sick of it, and every time you watch it, or read it, or listen to it, it's like the first time you've heard of it.
Of my stuff. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Or somebody else?
Any.
Oh, my stuff. Goodness, that's a good
Any
one, Kat.
stuff, Kat said. Any.
Oh, any stuff. Okay. On Hallmark, Unexpected Christmas with Tyler Hynes and Joy Beth Lenz. Love that movie. And there's another one that Paul Campbell wrote, I believe. Oh goodness, this is putting me on the spot. I love his writing. Which
Starlight Christmas.
What?
Starlight Christmas with Kimberly Sustad.
With Kimberly Sustad. And I love another one that they did together. I want to say it was like a wedding every weekend or something, or wedding every
weekend.
Loved them. I will watch them anytime they come on. Anytime. I pretty much will watch almost any Christmas movie on any of the channels just because it's Christmas. But those three especially, like, I'll watch anything. Of mine, I mean, I don't watch mine well. I'm like usually like this, because I get like, Nanny, I'll watch Nanny Express. I'll watch here and there. Good Morning Christmas, I will pretty much watch. I won't get sick of that one. Because it's Christmas, and also just because I think Alison Sweeney and Mark Lucas killed it. I think they knocked it so far out of every ballpark in the billion years. Like it's just, they did so great. And everything about it, like the production was great. The directing was great. I think how it looked aesthetically was amazing, and the supporting characters were just hands down the best, like, supporting cast, I thought. It's like everybody has, there's a reason why I like all the other ones. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily the same. As far as songs, I never get tired of singing Because of the Brave, because I know what it means to veterans and what it means to me that we get to do what we love. My song, that's one song. And then I have one song called Life is Better Than Flip Flops. And I don't get sick of singing those. Other ones, I'm like, yeah, I get the dog. I shouldn't say that. I don't tire of singing too many of my songs, because I don't do so many shows like 5 days in a row where I get so sick of them. I'm due to start writing some more songs again, which is great. I try to do bunches at a time. I mean, I love everybody else's stuff. Like I have so many friends that are writers and directors and producers that are just so dang talented, and I love seeing them do what they love, and I love seeing their success almost as much as mine, if not more so sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like it's um it's just a cool thing to see people doing what they love, you know?
Yeah.
I
Okay, my
yeah.
lady, we're gonna wrap up it with pretty do me in the hot seat, and you will be the interviewer. So you can ask me anything. You can think of
Okay.
anything you're curious or what you want to know about.
All right, let's see. I okay. I'm curious. Were you born deaf?
Yeah, I was born deaf. Yeah, I
Okay.
was born deaf due to a recessive gene. Uh, but my whole family is hearing. And apparently, I had a hard of hearing great grandmother later in age. So it's probably a recessive gene from my mom's side and my dad's side that gave me the deafness. And I also
Wow. And
have a deaf brother. So it's four of us. It's me, my sister, she's hearing. My brother, he's deaf. And my youngest brother, who's hearing.
so half two of you are deaf and two of you are not.
Yeah.
And do your brothers and your sister that are hearing, have they learned sign language?
They know a little bit. They only know the bad ones, if you know what I'm talking about.
Do I know? Of course I know what you're talking about. Bad ones. Come on now. Me? Those are my favorites. Um, that's wild. And your parents are both hearing.
Yeah, both parents are hearing. They do home sound. They do a little bit basic sign language, but not as fluent.
Wow. That's very interesting to me. I mean, and did you find you had done everything you've wanted to do in life, even being hearing impaired?
Yeah, I'm a teacher. I mean, a lot of people just have some ridiculous myths about deaf people. Deaf people can drive. Yeah, we can drive. I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't care if we have a fight or anything on podcast right now, including my interpreters. But deaf people tend to be better drivers. Better drivers
Well,
because we're more
you're more
visual.
you're probably paying a lot more attention because you're not listening to someone honking a horn. You're not listening. You know what I mean? You're probably are more prepared. I mean, I'm sorry, but I agree. I probably agree with you. I do, and I have to say, I love the fact that you have not let you being hearing impaired stop you from doing everything that you wanted to do, being a teacher and being a podcaster and being a popular podcaster and
Yeah.
funny as heck.
I
Like
had a little bit of a struggle with the podcast. I don't know if I should do it because I have a
of course
full time
good.
mom, teacher, and and people, band especially who do the podcast, doing on their own time, whether it was one person a month or
Who
two
cares?
people a month. So I try to
Sure.
think of it, and it's not just really always about Hallmark. I'm trying to work on branching out different issues, like Dapper Holy Parent Parents, or Bachelor Needs Mom, or that culture. I'm trying to work on a project about that culture. So that could be like 4 to 8 episodes, maybe. So I just need a little push to keep working on it. Finish it. I hope
Well,
it's ready for springtime. 1 episode a week.
so you've got three of us on here right now that I guarantee you these two lovely ladies and myself have no problem pushing you. I think it's a great idea. And here's the other thing, you have created this niche when there's nobody else like you doing what you're doing. And that's a big deal. I mean, I try to do it and it's completely different, obviously, but me saying like, okay, I'm an actress, but I'm also a writer, but I also wrote a book that did well. And then I write my own songs and I sing them. There's not a lot of people that do everything that I do. There's a lot of hyphens, right? But you also have a lot of hyphens and can reach a lot of people that probably might not care about anything to do with Hallmark or me being an actor or a writer or a singer or anything, which is all good, but also would like to talk to somebody like you if they have a son who is a non-communicative autistic 24-year-old and they don't know how to, and they're trying to struggle with that. Like there are people out there that would be interested in a lot of other things that you have to say aside from Hallmark or TV movies. I think it's a great idea, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud to know you.
Thank you.
I think you are one kick butt chick.
Yeah. Last minute questions or anything before we shut down for the evening?
What is one movie that you would want to watch that you could watch and never get tired of? It doesn't have to be mine, by the way.
Oh, of course.
It doesn't have to.
I'm thinking there's a lot about
it could be any movie, like
any movie that I can never get sick of.
Any movie.
No surprise there. It's a Tyler Hanks movie. It's a Tyler Hanks movie. No surprise there. I can rewatch Man and a Baby over and over and over. On the best in Christmas.
Yeah,
it was always June. And non-Tyler movie, I would say a Cranberry Christmas by Nikki DeLoach and
DeLoach. Love that one. I love her. She's a pretty special woman. She's incredible.
Yeah.
Also, I do love that movie. That was different. I like that. That's when Hallmark.
Classic Christmas movie will be A Matchmaker Santa with Lacey Shepard and what was his name? Adam Mayfield. I will watch that one or two times every Christmas. It's a classic.
I've never seen it.
Sure.
I'll have to look. It's called Matchmaker. What'd you say? Matchmaker's Christmas?
Matchmaker Santa.
Matchmaker Santa. Okay, I'm gonna look for that one. I have not seen that one. The other ones that I go like, it has to happen when I wrap presents. I must watch Home Alone. When my mom and I have to watch the Santa Claus on Christmas Eve, still do it. And then my new favorite one on Netflix, I believe it's on, with Kurt Russell. I cannot believe I'm forgetting the name of this. Oh, the Christmas Chronicles, is it called? I think. Super cute.
Beautiful movie. That was Massacre. Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell and Goldie. Beautiful.
Love.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Same. I'm all about it. So this has been so much fun, you guys. It was so nice meeting you two ladies too.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful.
Thank you for your time, and I really hope Joe Bob has a good weekend. Good Thanksgiving weekend. I'll pray for him, and hopefully he will be the back to himself in a couple of days, hopefully. Thank you for being here tonight, Riley.
You guys are awesome. Kat, I love you madly, and you are awesome, and thank you.
Have a good night. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.